What do you reckon, Binny? Should we make a mess today and destroy a whole office? You don't seem very impressed about what I'm gonna do you? You're gonna love it when it's done though. It's gonna be a new cat jungle. You guys wanna know what the problem is with IKEA tabletops after 2 years of use? Look at that bow and look at that part specifically right there. All right, check this out. The top of the tabletop has started delaminating and bending right there. And it just so happens that this is the part that I sit at. You can actually visibly see the bow in the desk here along with this. That is ridiculous. These cheap, crappy IKEA tabletops have got to go. They're crap. They're cheap and you get what you pay for. However, I will be replacing them with something else from IKEA, with something that is kind of crazy. I also have a collection of Bindi Polaroids on my desk too. What I'm doing is replacing it with a custom-made L-shaped desk with proper kitchen countertops, all on standing legs from Omnidesk. Omnidesk hooked us up with standing legs for this crazy idea that I had. So shout out to Omnidesk, you guys are absolute legends. And I'm gonna show you how to network multiple controllers using Ethernet so you can have more than 2 legs connected up to a single controller for a standing desk to do almost a whole office standing desk. And for those out there who are wondering how I'm filming this whole thing, thought I'd just add this little bit in, film it on my phone to show you guys. I've got a GH5 with the DC coupler on an auto pole and a fisheye. The thing is with this whole video, this is a really daunting task. And sometimes when I do these projects and I plan them out in my head, I feel like I've bitten off more than I can chew. The saving grace of the whole thing is my regular desk setup, my editing setup, which is this one over here, it's on wheels, and that's kind of what I'm going to do with the rest of the setup as well. So it's going to be completely modular. I'm going to be able to disconnect everything and move it around if I need to do anything. The other thing is I've pre-prepared the desks and built the tabletops already. I did that over the weekend, so like 4 or 5 days ago. So hopefully, crossing our fingers, this just works. And it only takes me a day. This is how terribly flimsy all of these IKEA tabletops are. I had to use other bits of solid wood, well, solid-ish wood, for the monitor arms, because what happened is this one here punctured a hole in the desk. This one was getting super ghetto. This one here wasn't ideal. I actually replaced this. This one is staying. This is new. This is rated for up to 43-inch monitors with gas lift. It is insanely good. And I actually bought this when I'd started to plan out my desk upgrade situation. But these two are going. I've got new monitor arms. These light bar things, I think they're also going. These were installed with the idea that I would film in here more. I don't really film in here that much, but we'll see what happens. That now needs to be dealt with. I don't know how it gets to this. This should give me enough space to stage the rest of everything that's going on in here. It is kind of dirty on that side, so just ignore all of that because that's okay. I know what everything is. I've kind of organized that in my head. But now these old tabletops need to go. This one's going to be a bit tricky. Let's see what happens here. But once these are out, the new stuff can come together. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. If you are, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, do all of that stuff that you would usually do in this kind of video. And it's hot. All right, let's get back into it. These are the tabletops that I built. There's 2 in total, and I'll explain how this works in a sec, but as you can see, I'm still going with the L-shaped configuration in here. What I've done here is I've purchased 2 IKEA bench tops. They're not made of cardboard and they don't have that weird cardboard grid inside of them. It's basically just a solid bit of wood Well, not actual wood, but you know, it's solid and it's not going to bow. Not to mention that the desk has a support system built into it as well, so it's less likely to bow over time. The reason why I didn't use an Omnidesk L-shaped desk is because in Australia, they don't have them. So Omnidesk was cool enough to send me all of the gear to make all of this a standing desk anyway. And they told me when I asked them if they had any plans on doing L-shaped stuff, that right now they don't have anything, but you can network the controls together, which got me thinking I could still do exactly what I wanted it to do, but in my own custom way. So we're still using the brand new Omnidesk Ascent setup for this, but it's completely custom, which is very, very, very cool. And yeah, shout out to Omnidesk again for sending me all the gear to allow me to realize this awesome desk setup. Now there's a couple other custom things going on here. Obviously that advanced cable bar that they make now is mounted to the back of the desk here. That's gonna work exactly as I think it will work. There's another advanced cable bar on this side to do everything it needs to do as well. But you may have noticed that I've got I think this is gonna work, a clever way to attach the desk. I've got some solid steel underneath it that's gonna just level it out. I use these little hooks and clasps to allow me to hook the desks together so then they don't drift apart. And if I need to move them apart, I can simply unlatch them. There are things that allow you to clip desks together. They do make products, but they're impossibly hard to get here in Australia. And the lead time would have been like weeks and weeks and weeks, and the Bow desk was a no-go. I needed to do this ASAP. The networking of the legs is fairly unsophisticated. The controller itself uses RJ45. It doesn't particularly use any special protocol, but it does use a standard RJ45 connector. The way this works, and I've tested this already, is I've got this little RJ45 splitter that I picked up from Bunnings for like 15 bucks or whatever. I could have got a better one, but I was testing so many different things to get this to work that this ended up being it. Essentially, you just plug in the controller into where it's supposed to plug in, and then you can split it out with another Ethernet cable to the other controller. Basically just splitting the signal out, and it reads the correct calibration settings for both tabletops on the single controller. Very, very cool. The offset will actually allow it to fill in almost all of the space that I already had here with just two tabletops, in theory, right? My measuring tape better not be lying to me, which I don't think it is. Let's get building again. There you go. It all works as one big standing desk. My whole office is essentially a giant standing desk. It's so freaking cool. The only problem I'm having with this setup right now is the controller is kind of freaking out because it doesn't know the leg position of all the legs correctly. So the way to counteract that is I think I need to put on the other controller on the other side of the desk. Just kind of hide it away just so it keeps both sets and both controllers in sync at all times. But other than that, it works. It's super stable. It's a lot nicer than it was before. Let's put it all back together, and then I'm gonna walk you through my brand new setup and all the other little things that I'm adding to this to make it really, really awesome. I'm so keen to share this with you guys. This has been months and months in planning. All right, it's all done. Well, it's done for now. There's a couple more things that I'm going to add to this that I just didn't think I was going to need, or actually I didn't know that I was going to need, but it's all done. Things like mouse pads, I think I'm gonna replace them because they're a bit manky and I need to clean my keyboards. I don't really see them like that because it's dark in here most of the time. And the other thing is these two monitors here are getting replaced. They're getting replaced with two of those new Cooler Master 4K mini LED panels. They just haven't arrived yet. I went out and bought a new monitor arm for this. Now, if you're wondering why this monitor's here, this is
where I do a lot of the testing. This is an old 4K AOC monitor from like 2016 or 2017, and the reason why I keep this monitor is it's one of the only monitors that has every single input. And what do I mean by that? Let me show you. This panel has HDMI, DisplayPort, VGA, and DVI. So I can plug in basically anything to this panel. I've also got a couple things on the back here as well. This is an HDMI to Ethernet adapter. If I need to do stuff on the server in ESX, I just plug in an HDMI cable, and that Ethernet cable that runs out goes into the network, and I can access it remotely like a KVM. It's very, very cool. On the back there is another little converter box I use for RGB SCART for retro computers. So this monitor setup, I can plug anything into and it works. The Mac Mini setup, this is the setup that I use the most out of everything in the office other than my gaming setup. We'll get to that. But I also put new monitor arms on these as well, just to make it better. I couldn't move the other monitors really, they were super static. These ones can be completely articulated, rotate, do whatever the heck I want with them. Yes, I know the mouse pad is disgusting. I'm aware, that's getting changed. Shout out to Razer for sending this to us, you know who you are. This is the Razer Death Adder V3 Pro. This is a really nice mouse that I've been enjoying using for a couple months now on my daily driver setup. It's like the Superlight, it's super light. The battery life, it just lasts forever. I think I've charged it once in like 2 months and I use this every single day. I highly recommend this mouse. It's probably really good for gaming as well. Honestly, I just haven't used it for gaming at all. For my use case on my Mac Mini, it's been absolutely beautiful. And my gaming setup, this is where I have spent like 9 days of playtime on Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, I'm sweaty. This is the AORUS FV43U. I reviewed this monitor, I'm gonna say almost 2 years ago now. I'm still using it. This thing is absolutely freaking amazing. I love it for gaming. I don't care what anyone else says. I've been using it for such a long time for a reason, because it's big and it's awesome. I've also got that on another really extreme monitor arm here. I showed this a little bit earlier in the video, but I can move this panel any way I like. To answer the question about the keyboard that we're probably going to get, this is the IQNX F97 Variable X. This is a very nice, kind of retro looking 97% keyboard or a 96% keyboard, whatever it is. Keyboard experts will tell me. And it is just overall a really nice keyboard. You can hear this. It's very nice. I swear by this gaming mouse. This is the Logitech Superlight Pro. I've bought a whole stack of these and they're just awesome. I just love these mice. The gaming PC is a PC that you may or may not be familiar with. This is the gaming PC I built for myself, I think in November last year, 13700KF. The only thing I changed from the build video that I did with this, it was a sponsored build video mind you, is this has got a 4090 in it now, not a 4080, and this thing has one thing installed on it, and that is Battle.net. It's a COD machine. This is basically the only purpose for this computer is to run Modern Warfare 2. It's an absolute weapon. And I love this computer so, so much. This is the real star of the show. This is the whole reason why I did this. Because all of this setup now is a standing desk. This is what I wanted all along. This is stupid. If I want to game, I can stand up and game now. No one's gonna be standing up and gaming, I get it. But for my daily setup, which is something that I use a lot, I would have loved the ability to stand at it all of the time when I'm doing my stuff in the morning, so I'm not sitting down and slouching in my chair while I'm doing emails and stuff. I can now just stand up, use it, do whatever I like. And that's really what it's like to own a $2 million gaming setup.
Where did you get this money?
I don't know. The one issue that I'm having with the controller, and I don't know why this is happening, maybe Omnidesk can help me sort this one out, but when I was testing the controller, I didn't have this problem, but you see, it'll show the readout for whatever the height is, but if I adjust it a little bit, it starts to flip out and it doesn't know the position of all the legs. I don't know what's happening with that, It could be that the legs are slightly out of alignment somehow, even though I've done like a full desk reset and everything, but it works. The only thing I found, see, it's done it again. The only thing I found is if I set a preset, the leg in the back corner doesn't work and the whole desk will move and then it just bends everything. So I'll just put it down to its height that I usually use it at. That's actually where I have it. It's not even a joke. Look, if you look at my other desk, look. It's actually where I have my desk set. It's not a joke. 69 is the only number. Fuck yeah. Now I can swear on YouTube.
Not that much.
No, we actually can.
But not that much.
Fuck. Shit. If you're wondering what the setup actually looks like, I don't typically have the roof lighting on. It would look a little bit more like this. I have LIFX strips running all the way around the back edge of the desk, and those strips are currently on 62% brightness. They go this bright. So they're much brighter, but they're very distracting at that brightness. So I dialed them back a bit. I spent about $300 on RGB strips, which is ridiculous. One thing I am missing though is some ambient lighting in the corner. I didn't think I would miss it as much as I do, but yeah, it makes it slightly dimmer in here. And I think I'm going to sort that out with some either floor standing lights or just something. And Claire reckons I should put a plant in the corner. Let me know in the comments if you think I should put a plant in the corner there. There's actually a platform behind there where I can put it, where we would see it. So yeah, let me know if you think I should do that. I think I'm gonna probably do that. But this is the setup, ladies and gents. The thing is with setups like this, a lot of what you see YouTubers make for their own setups isn't really practical, and a lot of the time they're doing it just to do a setup for a video, but this whole thing here is built to be practical for my use case because this is my actual office. This isn't just a set to film on. This is where everything happens. I do all my work in here. I spend some free time in here gaming, and I want it to be as comfortable and as usable as possible. Something to add as well, I'm going to be starting to stream again on Twitch. I'll link our Twitch channel in the description down below if you want to follow us and see what we're going to be up to. But I've got to add my Elgato key lights back in. I just didn't want to waste too much time getting it all set up today. I wanted to show you all what my setup looks like in its current form for my daily driver use case. For the streaming stuff, I'm just going to be adding a camera and also one key light, and it should work exactly as intended. That black box in the corner is my encoding PC for streaming. So it's all set up and ready to go. I just need to do the rest of the setup, which I'm just going to take my time and do over the weekend or in the next few weeks. It's not super urgent, but go follow us on Twitch because I might just surprise you one day and be streaming over there. I'll probably stream me playing Call of Duty, playing DMZ with my friends. We usually do mega squads with 6 people and just roll through a server and destroy everybody. It's good fun. Special shouts to Omnidesk again for hooking us up with all the legs and everything that we needed to get this whole setup built, other than the tabletops, which I bought, and all the lighting and all that stuff that I bought. But yeah, again, thanks Omnidesk, you guys are absolute legends. I'll put a link to almost everything that I featured in this video so you guys can get a kind of an idea of how much a setup like this would cost. I will ballpark the desk alone would be in the thousands of dollars, and obviously the monitor and the gaming PC and all that other stuff would be quite expensive as well, but people like to see those things, so I'll link everything down below. Last thing I wanted to add is I've been accumulating this stuff for a couple years as well, so I didn't go out and buy everything brand new for a whole new setup, which is why I have to wait for the other monitors to arrive and just stuff like that. You know, this is realistic, this is real life, this is how people do setups. They take their time with it, and I've been organizing tabletops and the legs and everything since, I'm gonna say December. It's taken a long time to get everything here, and yeah, the monitors were kind of holding up the process, but I needed to change that desk because the bowing was getting too much, and I was scared that my desk was going to collapse one day when I slammed my hand on the desk, raging at someone trying to kill me from far away. Alright, if you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, subscribe anyway. And I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peak, we seek, and I appreciate you all very, very much. Thank you so very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this process. I wish I could have made it a bit more enjoyable, but with stuff like this, I just get excited and I want to finish it so I can use it. Thanks for watching. Wow. I really hope someone watches this video. YouTube, why are you so broken? Why do you hate everything I make now?